Okay, we're rolling. Welcome to Movie Goblins, where technical difficulties are the norm and spoilers are on the table forever. I'm the only looking across the table from me is my co-host Ben
Joe
Leeson.
Rogan. Oh, no, okay.
Joe Rogan.
No, it's me, Ben. Did you miss us? No?
Did you miss us?
Okay, that's fair.
Did you miss us?
Did you miss me?
Did you? I guess not.
Ooh, Pepsi.
Oh, yeah.
Pepsi.
Pepsi, delicious. So, I don't know. A lot's happened since, like, our last attempt, episode 3.3.
No, that was
since 3.0.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. So we recorded 2 previous episodes that sadly were lost because of Joe Rogan. It's a long story, but and then we tried to record one over spring break that we just didn't get around to recording.
Yeah, just didn't get around to recording. Yeah.
Scheduling stuff and all that crap.
Yeah, it's just
all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
So technically, this is our 3rd attempt at episode 3. So
yeah,
third time's
the charm.
Yeah. And I promise we will get back to the movies we were supposed to review later on down the road, maybe for a special.
Once we're like our thoughts on it are refreshed. Although I doubt I'll watch the Mario movie again, but maybe I'll do it just for the sake of the podcast. I don't know.
I was thinking we could do like for one episode we can watch all 3 Mario movies and just talk about all of them.
There's 3? Oh yeah, the anime, right?
Yeah, like from the 1984. Like watch that 90s and then the new one.
Mm-hmm.
Which one's the best?
Which one's the best, man?
So
a lot's happened. Last weekend I went to the Wisconsin Film Festival.
Ooh.
And watched like 3 movies.
Yeah.
And
classics.
Ranking of classics. I watched like this the best one I watched was like this like avant-garde like blurring of like documentary and and fiction.
Robot Monster?
And then Robot Monster. Yeah, it was Robot Monster. 3D. 3D. And the 3D was really good too. It was really fun. And that was like actually a sold out show, which was surprising to me. It was extremely like
movie nerds.
Yeah, movie nerds. And people took their kids to it. I'm just like, okay.
John Carpenter, it'd be awesome if he was there because he likes that movie.
Mm-hmm. I thought I saw John Carpenter be behind me like during the connection.
If you met John Carpenter without me, I would have cried for days. Absolutely.
I was just like, was that John Carpenter? It's like, oh no, it's just some lookalike, you know.
It's just some other hot old man. I don't know.
Hot old. I'll get to that later about how John Carpenter's a dilf. But
listen.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say something.
I don't know.
Okay, but the third one I watched was an extremely like, it was an exploitation like Italian crime thriller, not really thriller, but like action movie called The Tough Ones, or as also it's got like a bunch of other titles as Italian movies go, but it's called The Tough Ones.
Okay.
And that was an extremely fun movie to watch. That was just a fun movie to watch in general with like a crowd and the big screen because it was just like people had like large reactions to whatever was happening. And it was super fun. The guy like
was there any claps? Did people clap?
Yeah, people clapped at the end. Yeah.
No, like and cheer throughout moments of the film.
No, unfortunately no. But like the guy played by like this actor Maurizio Merli who he plays the main character and like he's kind of one of those characters who punches and asks questions later. He's just like whenever like he just socks somebody in the fucking face. He's just like everybody just gets like starts laughing. It's just like it's so funny. It's awesome.
Okay.
But yeah, that happened. And then
that did indeed happen.
And today is John Waters' birthday
and Earth Day.
It's a strange thing. Just
happy John Earth Day. John Earth Waters Day.
So watch Silent Running while watching Pink Flamingos or Polyester or something.
Or Wall-E if you want to have a happier day.
Yeah, if you want to have a happy... Yeah, Wall-E and Silent Running are great, like, for me are like 2 great Earth Day double features, but...
That'd be a very sad... That'd be a very whiplashy
really?
Double feature.
Silent Running?
Wait, is that the one with the guy who eats people?
No.
Oh.
What?
Which one's that one?
The guy who eats people?
No.
Anthropophagus?
Running. No. Him running.
Yeah, Silent Running.
Is that the one where he's on? No, wait. Is that the
one? He's on like a space station, which has like the last force in like existence.
I was thinking of the one who eats people. That's the one where like green. No.
Green? The Green Inferno?
No, Soylent Green.
Soylent Green. Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
I was
Also,
like,
spoilers for Soylent Green.
Spoilers for Soylent Green.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's a movie that's about 2022.
It's been
It
quoted.
hasn't happened yet. Yeah.
It was quoted in Futurama and The Simpsons. It's fine.
Okay.
Also, it's famous. Whatever.
Okay, so we watched some movies just like in
Yesterday.
a single evening. We watched them last Friday, like just yesterday.
Yeah. On Fog Day.
Yeah, on Fog Day, April 21st. The first one we watched was The Evil Dead. Now we were gonna see Evil Dead Rise, but like we're both broke college students, so we didn't have the opportunity.
I
to
was
see
like,
it.
yeah.
Let's
and
watch
also
the
we have
first
to
one.
walk. Like,
We
listen,
also have to walk there.
Listen. I'll pay for the Mario movie, but I won't pay for Evil Dead Rise.
Oh wow.
No, I'm kidding. The Mario movie, I don't know why I was so eager to see that. I don't know why. It's just I was so fascinated by it.
That was like I'd take my kids to see that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, probably not Evil Dead Rise.
No, definitely not that. It's about family.
It's about family.
It's about family. That's what's really powerful about it.
By the way, I don't know if you noticed, 98% of our jokes will be just like,
RLM.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
I love those guys, you know.
Listen, if you're going to donate money to anybody, donate to them, not to us.
It's true.
Also, you can't donate to us.
They're the best at what they do, you know.
They're the best of the best movies.
Yeah. So
yeah.
We watched the original. So in place of that, we watched the original Evil Dead.
Yes, which I have never seen.
You had never seen before.
Which I thought I did. Well, here's the thing. So for long, like I saw Evil Dead 2, and people in the probably know it's half remake of Evil Dead, basically.
It's basically like a proto sequel.
Yeah. So it was like I thought I saw it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So, and I've seen clips of Evil Dead in movies like the rabbit one, evil furry rabbit.
Is that Ash versus Evil Dead? Oh, it's Donnie Darko.
Yeah. So I saw clips of this movie in that film when they're at the theater. And you know, it's Evil Dead. It's a famous franchise. So I knew the different like images and like different, you know. But I've never seen the original Evil Dead. I don't think I've seen Darkness either. The third one.
Darkness is great. Yeah.
I mean, I'm Klaatu Bra Nikto, right? So I was very curious just because I was like, oh, you know, this seems like a fun little romp into hell, you know? And I loved it.
Yeah, no, it's a great movie.
I was beaming from ear to ear. For the most part, except for the tree rape scene. Yeah, that's, you know.
It lasted like, oh Jesus Christ! I feel like it's like what I was gonna say was gonna be like.
Whoa! What
were
you gonna say?
It lasted like the scene itself was like its impact on like the audience. You know?
Right.
It lasts like a minute. So, but when you we were talking about this where it's like when people hear the term like hear the two words tree rape, they think of something extremely like holy shit, you know?
Earth Day?
Like video. They think of like it's like Evil Dead was known for being like in England was like banned for a while for being like, video nasty. Yeah.
The
video nasty whole video nasty thing where
those people tried to get the Monty Python crew arrested.
Wow.
And sent to prison for Brian.
Wow.
Yeah, literally, like they tried to throw him in prison for that.
So basically, like the English censor board sucked, but
fuck them.
But like when you hear that, it's like you think of something that way worse than like what's portrayed on screen. Like where it's it's like people like pulling
it's got stop
twigs
motion and
people pulling twigs, but like it's reversed, so it looks like the twigs are moving. You can clearly see like how it's done, so it's not like
stop motion scars.
I don't find it offensive.
No, absolutely not.
It's not like something like I Spit on Your Grave where like the entire like 1/3 of the movie is rape. You know.
I haven't seen that, and I don't think I want to.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to either. You know.
Yeah. So I mean, it's also ridiculous.
It's also very outlandish.
Like, I mean, you just heard the two words "tree rape," and that's the most offensive part of the movie.
Yeah, it's not the best part because even Sam Raimi is like, I wouldn't have done that.
Really?
Now, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. So he's kind of like it was just him trying to be shocking, you know?
Yeah.
He was 20 years old when he made the movie, so
that makes me feel so inadequate.
Well, Mary Shelley was 18 when she wrote Frankenstein. You know,
that's not helping.
I'm just saying, like some people were like
more talented than me.
Oh my god! I'm just saying that some people are just get like they try really hard and they get lucky sometimes. But like Sam Raimi though.
I know. Listen, Sam Raimi is basically God. We all know this.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Spider-Man
He made
and shit.
he made the first truly great superhero movie. That wasn't DC.
Oh, well... well,
He
yeah.
made the first truly
like,
great Marvel movie, in my opinion. Because they had been very lackluster before that in like the 80s and 90s.
Well, I mean, no one cared before then, aside from Batman.
Yeah.
That's all people cared about.
And Superman. Well, except Superman was not as cool as Batman, so...
Yeah. Anyway, Evil Dead. Let's get
Evil
back
Dead,
to...
so...
I love this movie.
Should I explain it, or... It's not a complex plot, but...
Friends go to cabin, find demon book. They die.
They get zombified.
Demon zombies thing, like possessed. Yeah.
What struck me was just how much you were impressed by the movie.
Oh my god! Like, listen, I am a sucker for weird ass like just camera shots. Like,
and this has that galore.
Oh my god! Like, there's a scene later in the film where Ashley is in the basement.
Yeah.
That's so weird. He's in the basement and like weird shit like. I don't know if it was just trying to scare him or just I don't know what it was doing, just pissing him off, I guess. Mm-hmm. There's a scene where there's a projector, right? Mm-hmm. And like blood is dripping onto the projector, but it's filmed sideways, so it looks like the blood is falling vertically onto the lens. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I thought it was like it was dripping down.
No, like it was dripping sideways. It was dripping like onto the projector, like. So I assume they put it sideways and filmed like I was getting goosebumps from that. And like the light bulb is filling with blood, and I'm trying to. There's also a scene where Ashley, I'm gonna call him Ashley because A, it's funny, and B,
he's not the character we've come to know.
That's my aunt's name, so I find that very funny to me.
Gotcha.
But so Ashley, he's driving his sister after the tree scene. And the bridge is destroyed. I don't know how that it looked like someone ripped it up, ripped it apart, and also the tree. Oh no!
It looks like a hand curling up its fingers,
curling the car in its grasp. And there's also a scene where Ashley gets out of the car, and the way the camera is stationed, he walks normally, but he's like walking downward. Mm-hmm. Like I thought I was high somehow. Like I was like, what? Whoa! Wait a minute! Just there's there's even at the very beginning when they come to the cabin, there's a swing, right? There's a swing.
Yeah, it's just
like as soon as he gets the key, the swing just stops. Mm-hmm. And obviously that's someone off camera just grabbing the swing and.
Well, it's so effective.
Like I got chills. I got chills in my taint. Like I was like, oh my god. Like
it's one of those movies where it's like
so simple.
It should be dumb. It should be like it should be like the most basic horror movie you can think of, but it's done in such a creative and like cartoonish way that you just love.
Yeah,
you just love and appreciate it so much because of the fact that like these were young filmmakers who were like kind of making this movie off like not really off
scraps.
Yeah, pretty much from like a meager budget and just intuition of knowing what will work and what won't.
Yeah. And
learning as they go along and making some mistakes as they went along, but that's kind of what gives it its charm but that's what what makes it amazing.
The moon,
yeah.
It like fills with ink and like covers it, so it's oh my god.
It's awesome.
My heart just flooded.
It looks like a mailbox postage stamp.
I know, but it's so cool.
Oh no, I love it. Oh
my god. And
Robert Tapper in the background as they're crossing the bridge.
Sorry, Adam. That's gone.
That's what we're referencing is Adam Johnson from this YouTube channel called Your Movie Sucks.
Who I love. I do love him.
Yeah, he's great. But what he does is he kind of sometimes complains about the smallest things.
Well, no, I can see where he's coming from in terms of
he just wants to see the movie as it originally was, untampered.
Yes.
Now it's on. He wants to see it untampered, but now it's untappered.
Well, which I get, but I like if you want a new version with updated effects, just have the old version.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
Just buy the DVD.
Just don't Lucas it, right?
Yeah, just don't Lucas it. It's like there's a difference between like taking out like the wires on something or like taking out like making it look more
some like
seamless, some background stuff, and then there's a difference between like that and doing what George Lucas did and adding like bullshit into your scene that doesn't like a fucking dinosaur-like thing, like walking across the screen when like Luke and Obi-Wan get stopped by the troops. You know, that's what's different. You know, when it's like that's just dumb.
Anyway, Evil Dead.
No, we can like go off on tangents though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Fuck George Lucas.
Fuck George Lucas.
You should never, ever, for me personally, never, ever, 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 ever tamper with someone else's movie without their permission.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of offensive.
Because he did not direct the other two classic films. That wasn't
Irvin Kershner directed Empire,
and some poor hack.
I don't even remember who directed Jedi.
Well, that was the classic. Like he was under Lucas's kind of thumb. Like so, but and also he died like pretty soon after that movie came out. Wow. He heart attack or just he was like late 20s. So I'm sorry, George Lucas tampered with your movie, friend. I still love your movie, even though people have problems with it.
Yeah,
it might be my favorite Star Wars.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I disagree with that, but I have different opinions about that movie, but
it's probably my most nostalgic.
I got you.
Just for the final battle between Luke and Vader, I think it's the best. Just yeah.
But Evil Dead is just one of those like it's one of those like makeshift guerrilla style. It reminds me of a lot of like Night of the Living Dead. Yeah. In that regard, because of the fact that they're kind of flying from the seat of their pants. You know,
is this gonna work?
I don't know.
Let's try it.
Part of what made the movie work was its marketing, because it's just like the most intense. Like they had that quote by Stephen King saying it's like
which apparently like that quote was the entire marketing for.
It was
for, like the fact Stephen King, Carrie,
The Shining, Salem's Lot.
I'm not sure if was Shining out yet?
The Shining was out. Yeah.
Yeah, just like that at that time the modern master of horror novels was like. This is the scariest movie
I've ever seen.
It's like that got people looking. But one thing I do like, anyone who's seen Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, the TV show Ash vs. Evil Dead, or anything with Ash knows. Most people know him as like that one sarcastic dick, the charming kind of like I don't give a fuck, I don't know, my hand's gone, whatever. But Ashley. I might like better because I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
Like his sister gets raped by a tree and dies. His girlfriend dies. His friend, who's also kind of a dick, dies. And his girlfriend dies.
But he's also like being tormented by the husks of like the demons that inhabit their shells, basically.
His sister is locked in the basement and it's just fucking with him. He's like...
I love how like immature the demons are.
Oh, it's great.
It's great because they act like children sometimes, where they're like just teasing him.
That one like is like that freaked me out. But yeah, it's just like Bruce Campbell's performance.
He sells it.
You want God damn, I feel so bad for this guy. At least he got a happy ending. Oh wait,
that was a great ending shot too.
Oh, that just. The tracking shot through the house.
Yeah, the force entering the house and coming out the other side and just
beautiful.
Just attacking him at the end is just like, oh yeah, so good.
Love it. The music's great.
Music is also very good for a film that like had like a very small budget. It's very grand and it's got like orchestral stuff going on. And I'm just like, wow, that's surprising. I expect it to be more like prog stuff, Yeah, because considering its budget.
Well, I wonder if that was like they sold it to the studio and they got the budget for the score, maybe.
Yeah,
but I don't know. But Evil Dead, it's a fascinating movie for me. Also, what are some things you don't like about it aside from the tree thing? Because I think we both agree
that's kind of a little bit.
That's a little much.
Yeah, it's a little much.
If you like, maybe keep it ambiguous on what happened.
Yeah,
you don't have to actually.
You don't have to show like the tree line like going between your legs. Yeah.
Yeah. So aside from that, what
I don't like about what keeps it, I guess, is the fact that it is the fact that like what keeps this from being like a higher score is the fact that it is amateur. Okay. It's like, I guess, there's some moments where it's just like, okay, I understand what's happening. I understand like what's gonna happen. God, some of the flaws in this, it's hard to talk about this movie in like a negative light because all of its flaws like
are charming,
are what elevate it for
right.
me, I guess it would have to be if I had to like point out something I didn't like about the movie. God, it would have to be the whole maybe like the middle act of the movie a little bit.
Okay.
Is just
a little slow pacing.
It's a little slow pace, but that's also kind of what gives it
the charm. Yeah.
It's hard. It keeps going back to like, okay, that kind of like that didn't work really.
Right.
Sam Raimi didn't really know where to place the camera sometimes. Some of the scenes are kind of overexposed in the daylight, especially at the beginning.
Yeah, but it's not a lot of scenes.
It's not a lot of scenes. That's nitpicking stuff, you know.
There's like 4 scenes.
That's
in the whole
me.
movie.
That's me. Like trying to think like, okay, what do I not like about this movie, and trying to think of like
Just
trying to
nitpicks.
nitpick, you know.
My biggest nitpick is at the beginning. The map he has is way too overly drawn.
detailed.
It's like what is that for? Like a theme park? What is that? Like every Wisconsin man knows a map is supposed to be the ugliest thing and most confusing thing you've ever seen. This is standard. It's supposed to be very confusing.
And some of the cuts are a little bit jarring.
Which
because like the scene, what makes me think of the 2 scenes. One the opening where they're in the car,
right,
and they're about to get hit by the truck. And he's like, turn the wheel. That's a little bit of a that was a little bit of like a jarring cut.
Okay.
And especially also like in terms of like sound, where you can clearly tell like it's like they were trying to mix the sound mixing was not great.
Right.
And another scene where like it kind of like smash cuts to like when he's being attacked by Linda with a knife. Like her scream like began before the cut happened. So it's like it's in the middle of her scream. So that's like that's nitpicky stuff though, where it's like it's considering the fact that they even got this movie fucking made is a miracle and amazing, and I love it. You know,
my biggest complaint is just I feel this is the dumbest thing, but the rules of the demons don't seem very.
I feel like that's kind of what like they don't really like they didn't think that through that much. But that's kind of what makes it fun.
After the book happens, like anything goes. I don't care. You know, demons are loose. Who gives a fuck? My main issue is that the demons are like fucking with them before they get the book. Like they're driving to the house and like it's clearly a demon. Like it has to be, and like it makes the car almost crash. And like there's certain things that it's clearly supernatural.
I think it's just the car being a piece of shit.
Well, no, because there's a POV shot coming from the forest, looking at the road, and then
that's just like an establishing shot of like the characters. Because like it's like cutting between like the force like with the sound like going like you know, and then it's like the peaceful, quiet, serene like do 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 like the characters going do 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 do.
No, so like it's like a little like POV. It's in the forest and like it's like zooming to and looking down at the highway, like watching them, and then the car thing happens. So I'm not sure. Well, okay, so that whole fact. The fact I'm confused about that is a problem.
Is a problem for you? Okay.
Yeah, and again, I don't really care. It's like this is the classic. Like who gives a shit?
You know,
whatever.
It's a good movie.
I'm having fun.
It's like if you're having. It's like movies are just meant to be fun.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I do have one major complaint. It almost ruined the movie for me.
Oh really?
Bruce Campbell's unibrow. It was
Bruce. That almost ruined the movie for you.
No, I'm kidding.
No, so I thought you were just like what the fuck.
No, I was.
It is a pretty glaring unibrow. Yeah.
It's fine. It's Ashley.
It's Ashley. It's Ashley. It's not the bass we've come to know and love.
Also, the magnifying glass necklace. So Ashley gives his girlfriend like a magnifying glass.
Yeah,
necklace.
that was actually gold color. They spray painted it silver. I don't know why.
I don't know. He's like, and she's like, "Oh, it's beautiful." It's like, why? It's a magnifying glass.
Ash, it's beautiful.
Well, because I thought he was gonna propose to her. Like I thought.
Will you marry me, Linda?
Which I think would have made her death even more tragic.
There's a line that always confused me. Sorry to jump ahead to like Evil Dead 2, but there's always like it's like a similar scene between him and Linda. Different actress playing Linda, and she's like extremely like minor character, but like he's like, "Oh, we get some champagne, huh, baby? Since I'm a man and you're a woman, at least last time I checked." It's just like, okay. All right.
I don't remember that line, but it sounds like something Ash would say.
It sounds like something Ash would say because he's awkward and weird, but he's groovy. He's groovy.
He's a
groovy guy.
I'd love to hang out with him or Bruce Campbell or both.
Oh,
so,
geez.
What'd you rate The Evil Dead?
On Letterboxd, I rate it 4 stars.
I think I did the same thing.
Yep, you did. Yep.
The last star was mostly taken from some confusing things in the tree scene. That was the biggest. But I highly recommend checking it out.
Oh yeah,
it's
dope. It's one of the great classics of horror.
Yeah.
Of just
like great poster too.
Great poster, yeah.
Posters, and as kids nowadays would know, the posters in Stranger Things season 1.
The poster in Stranger. I love that because it's just like, how the fuck did he get his hands on that?
Well, the show takes place in 83.
83. That was like the poster that came out for 83. The 83 release. So. And I guess like he was a big enough a fan to like have wanted to take it from the movie theater.
Also, it looks cool. So
it looks cool, yeah.
But it's drawn attention because the kid's dad, who's also the dad of the kid who goes missing, says, "Take that poster down. It's making your mom sad because your son, your brother's probably dead or whatever." Like, okay.
I actually like. What's your thoughts about season 3? One of Stranger Things.
My thoughts on
yeah.
So. I loved the first 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
If it was just the first 2 seasons, I would have been, the show's a masterpiece. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Then season 3 happened. And I watched it, I was like, this is penis. This is absolute penis. It's not very good. It's boring. The characters are boring. It's oversaturated with remember this crap that is...
I like when they watched like Day of the Dead when that was a flop, you know?
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
And then I have not watched season 4 because I don't want to. Because like each episode is like 2 hours.
2 hours, yep.
And each episode costs like $5 million.
Mm-hmm.
And they canceled Dark Crystal, so I refuse to watch it.
10-4.
Yeah. And there's like one more season, and they're gonna do spin-offs. It's like, guys.
It's like it was a special thing when it was just one season.
One season, and there's like season 1 is like the kind of like the classic horror ending, and season 2 is like if you want a happier ending, and then season 3 was just we built a mall in the middle of bumblefuck nowhere because we're government.
Because Ridgemont High.
And then of course one of the characters sacrifices himself, and it's very emotional, but then he's back in season 4 because he got teleported to Russia. But yeah, Stranger Things, I guess.
Stranger Things, yeah. But
Evil Dead, check it out.
Evil Dead, check it out, obviously. And check out the entire original trilogy. It's great. Each one has its own like unique tone about it.
That is clear.
It's progressively more goofy. Yeah, I love that. And then like it's like usually when that happens, like with the Friday the 13th movies or like Nightmare on Elm Street, it gets bad. But that makes it actually kind of like it gets good in its own way. You know,
it's good goofy.
It's good goofy.
It's not cringe.
It's not cringe goofy. Not like Freddy Krueger with the fucking power glove.
Now we're playing with power.
I beat my high score.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little soul too.
I might actually watch that just for the hell of it.
I find that kind of stuff charming with
because Robert Englund's hamming it up, so he loves that role.
He's having a ball.
He's having a ball.
A ball.
A ball. But yeah,
Evil Dead. Check it out.
Evil Dead. Next up, we watched
The Fog.
The Fog
on Fog Day.
On April 21st, baby.
And we're not dead from pirates, so that's a good sign.
Yeah. The Fog was released in February of 1980, directed by John Carpenter. Pretty much, John Carpenter, after making Halloween, he didn't he was just like that was just another job for him. He didn't really see the success. He got a paycheck for it, you know.
He's like, okay.
He didn't it was a massive success, like underground hit. It was like the definition of a sleeper hit.
Yeah.
He didn't really catch wind of that. He's like it was just a job for me, you know.
Yeah.
So he went on to direct Elvis. No, later that November in 1978 he worked on a Hitchcockian thriller called Somebody's Watching Me.
Okay.
And then in 1979 he directed a TV movie called Elvis, which was for his first collaboration with Kurt Russell.
Which, by the way, I don't know. It's about Elvis. I know it's a big surprise. Spoiler for Elvis, but it's about Elvis.
It's about Elvis. But then he makes Avco Embassy comes in and hey man, I think it was like a two-deal picture.
Yeah.
He made the Fog and Escape from New York under Avco Embassy.
Okay.
And then after that, he made The Thing, and then his career was never the same after that because it was
sad.
Yeah. But then he kept making good movies, but he never recovered from that bomb of a movie at the time.
It crushed him a little bit.
It crushed him, yeah.
But for the fog, I remember I watched a documentary, like a TV, about his career, and he talked about after Halloween, after he found out it was kind of a big success, he went with Deborah Hill, who he was dating at the time, to like Europe just to travel and see everything. And they went to Stonehenge because it's Stonehenge.
Yeah.
And he looked over, he saw like fog coming in, like over the mountain, like it was like.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, the fog's coming.
The fog's coming.
Oh my god. There's a siren if you can't hear it. I don't know if you can hear it.
So there was a fucking tornado, like it was noon, so there was like a tornado thing, like a tornado
After
siren.
16 hours, we're back.
So yeah, continue your thought about Stonehenge.
Oh, that's right. Anyway, so they're at Stonehenge and they're on vacation, and John Carpenter saw the fog roll in, and he thought, what's in the fog? What if it's a ghost? And then he hears... Okay, so the plot of the fog involves the shipwreck plot that happened 100 years before the movie, where colonists like tricked a bunch of lepers sailing to the mainland to basically crash and die and stole their gold. That happened for real. That's a real event.
That's a real account?
Yes, that's a real event in history. And then John Carpenter heard that. He's like, that'd make a great ghost story. Like the ghosts of that shipwreck come back to get revenge.
That opening like campfire scene is great.
Oh yeah. So basically, he took the fog from Stonehenge, that and his love of those old comics.
EC Comics.
Yeah, and just combine those with Deborah Hill to make the fog.
And the fog is kind of... I've always said that he made movies between Halloween and the fog, but the fog and Halloween are a great like double feature.
Okay.
Because it's just like it has that same
evil
John Carpenter like aura about them, where he knows how to like make stuff creepy.
Yeah.
He has that Panavision camera that's awesome. It's a great atmospheric horror.
Dean Cundy.
Yep. Dean Cundy was like, it's like the same dream team that was worked on Halloween. It's like
they're back.
Dean Cundy, Deborah Hill, Tommy Lee Wallace,
John Carpenter,
the man himself, John Carpenter.
Jamie Lee
Curtis, yeah. And so
and a bunch of the actors from
Charles Cyphers. It's just like
Nancy Loomis.
People like who were key, like especially the people who were key components in the original Halloween, like Wallace and Hill and Carpenter and Cundy, all making this other horror movie that's almost just as good. It's almost as great as the original Halloween.
Okay.
If not for a little bit of studio meddling, and some issues with
pacing.
Just I would say kind of the same issues that Halloween 2 had a little bit, where it's like, okay, it feels a little bit familiar, and it's a little bit like, okay, there obviously it was no longer an independent film. Obviously, it felt like a studio was behind this, where it's like, okay, we need another Halloween, and so there's a little grain of rice in there, in this like soup of like excellence,
Right. Okay, I could see that.
But other than that, I find it to be an excellent movie.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I love it.
The fuck. It's weird because I only have a few major problems with it, but overall, it's excellent.
You want to start off with like those problems at first, just to get them out of the way, or like
I love the score, but sometimes it can get a little kind of overpowering.
Okay.
Because there's the piano, I can't think of the actual melody, but sometimes like during like a church, like hiding out, it's like ding 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 ding.
Oh yeah, where it's like it can be like, my eardrums.
I'm like, oh my god, guys, John, I love you, but
it's like you can tell he was just like boop boop boop. boop. He was just like punching the piano.
Like hold it down, like like do something like that. Not
just... like in the original Halloween where they had that stinger,
Yeah,
that was great.
That was great because it wasn't a whole scene. It wasn't just. It
wasn't that like looped over and over.
It was just ding ding. So that 98% of this music is fucking
amazing. Yeah,
the shit.
But there's a little speck of that where it's like, okay, it gets a little bit like, okay, calm down.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
It's trying to be a bit more grand than Halloween because Halloween is a small film.
Yeah, it takes place in like 3 houses.
Yeah.
and a road.
It's trying to like the fog is trying to encapsulate an entire town's worth of.
Yeah.
The threat is able to encompass the entire town at once.
Yeah. I was also confused on the rules and motives of the ghosts.
Yeah.
So it's like, if the fog gets you, they're in the fog, right? Like they.
Yeah.
But it's so. What? Okay, so the whole goal of the ghost is to kill 6 people.
Yep, kill 6 people to take the place of the 6 conspirators who are responsible for their murder.
So it's not like the blood relatives of the.
Nope,
it's
not
just
descendants.
Which
Which is just 6 people.
Which
as Tom Atkins says, 6 people to take their place. You know.
Yeah, there's 3 on a boat. There's.
That's already half the body count right there.
Yeah,
in like the first act of the movie.
Yeah, and then there's like an old woman. There's the weather guy, and then spoilers, the priest at the end. But it's like, I feel like it would be more dramatic if it was the descendants. Like let's say like the goal is kill the most recent descendant of
the bloodline of.
So
the
like
people, the
so
okay.
the radio host's kid is the most recent bloodline, so they're after the kid.
That'd be really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, or like obviously the priest, or like maybe Jamie Lee Curtis's kid, like just something to give it more like. Because like
more rhyme and reason to the madness.
Yeah, because there's a whole crowd of people celebrating the town. Like, just go there and kill 6 people.
At least one person. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like why specifically go after these people? Like, and so that was a little kind of like, okay, but you know, it's a ghost story, whatever. Yeah. I didn't like the ending. I think I told you about this. The whole
where it felt like did it feel like a reshoot to you?
Yeah, because so the whole trap 100 years ago, the priest's ancestor, who's also a priest, he stole the gold that they stole from the lepers and like melted it down into a cross. I don't know how he did that, but it looks cool. And then the modern priest, who's drunk off his ass, he gives it back to the ghosts and they leave.
Yep, but then they come back to kill him.
Yeah, but so it's like, why?
Why
like,
they just kill him right then and there?
Yeah,
because they needed like a stinger ending, I guess.
Yeah, but it was like. Because it felt so final, like they gave it in like there's an awesome shot of like the golden cross glowing and the eyes and like.
If this were an Italian movie, I can honestly see like her like Adrienne Barbeau like saying like look for the fog and then cutting back to the ocean and the credits starting to roll. You know?
Yeah. And then, but you know, it cuts back after that, and the priest is like, he says like the 6th sacrifice or something.
I'm the 6th conspirator.
And then the ghost comes in and kills him. And the movie ends. It's like,
oh no, you mean like, well, I was like, why didn't you take me? You know, it's like,
no,
why not 6? You know.
Well, that, but like after they get the cross, he's like walking to the church. He goes,
I'm Father Malone.
No, like at the very end, he's in church. He goes, 6 members, and then the ghost kills him, and it ends. Like he's, but why?
Yeah,
that's like. It's just the ghost stuff is very muddled to me. Like it feels like it should have been more clear on what the rules were.
What I appreciate about this movie is that structurally, there's like what Carpenter's good at is way like telling like how stories unfold in different, because we saw this in Assault on Precinct 13 how they unfold and intersect with completely separate stories that are connected by like this one threat, you know.
Yeah.
And so we got, you know, the radio host, played by
Adrienne Barbeau.
Played by Adrienne Barbeau, Stephen Wayne. They have like the Fisher guy, played by Tom Atkins, whose name is Nick Castle in the movie.
That's funny.
It was just awesome. If you don't know, Nick Castle's the actor who played Halloween for the majority of Halloween. Who played Michael Myers?
I was like,
he played Halloween.
He played the whole holiday.
He played the whole holiday.
It was amazing.
The Nick Castle, he was the actor who played Michael Myers in the original Halloween for most of the movie. He was the guy who was like stalking around.
Yeah, he was walking around, turning his head, all that.
Because it was known that like multiple people played Michael Myers.
And then there's Lee Curtis.
The fisherman Jamie Lee Curtis. There's the radio host. Then there's like the
mayor.
Nah, not the mayor, but like kind of one like the event organizer.
I'm pretty sure she was the mayor.
No.
Was she not the mayor?
No, she wasn't the mayor.
Oh.
She was like an event. She was like the organizer of like the 100th birthday of Antonio Bay, which is like the town where like the seaside town where the fog takes place in
Yeah.
California.
And it's like the big anniversary event.
The big anniversary event on April 21st. And there's the priest.
Who might be my favorite character.
Yeah, because he figures out first, like, what's going on.
It's like, we're all celebrating
Well,
murderers.
We're honoring murderers.
Love
And how the fog is able, like, how people are able to kind of, it's really riveting.
Mhm.
How people are able to, like, take, like, are given information. Does it feel forced? Because, like, because Stevie's kid, who's played by the kid who got a razor blade in his mouth in Halloween 2.
He's fine, by the way. He didn't actually get a razor blade.
No, he's fine. He discovers a piece of driftwood, and it says like Dane for Elizabeth Dane, which is like the ship that crashed. That was that carried the lepers and that crashed.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel forced.
No.
It doesn't feel like okay they had to figure out how they're getting information about this, so they're like driftwood.
Yeah.
It feels natural.
Like,
Even though it is a little bit contrived, it's like whatever. They need to get the plot going a little bit. Ghosts, with ghosts,
spooky things are happening.
There's
car alarms going off.
That opening is just like a great like masterclass in like creating tension and just
I was very
having
upset
a build-up.
that fucking dick who drank the orange juice didn't die.
Yeah, there's a
Fuck
dickhead
that guy.
who drank the orange juice and like
There's a janitor at like a grocery store. He like at night he drinks the orange juice like a whole carton and puts it back. You fucking dick. I was genuinely upset about that for some reason. It's like, you son of a bitch. I guess COVID kind of warped, but it's like
that's
why
gross.
He should have been killed.
That's ugh.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, and there's like a myth. There's this town has like history, and it feels lived in.
Yeah,
and it's just like, it just feels lively, despite the fact that it's a quiet seaside town in California. It feels like a place that actually exists.
Yeah,
and is inhabited by actual people who are just trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Well, no, I mean, it's just like six people who are.
I know, but like they're all like they play some key importance in the town, or like there's like nobodies, who are just trying to like figure out what's going on.
Just people.
But like Nick Castle and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Like, are you calling him by the character, but not Jamie Lee Curtis by
Tom Atkins and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Just so I can keep track. I'm just gonna call them by like the actors' names.
Whatever.
Yeah, just to make things consistent. Tom Atkins and Jamie Lee Curtis are trying to figure out what happened to like the first victims of the fog was the victims of the seagrass.
Yeah, three
guys on the seagrass
who are also the friends of Tom Atkins' character.
Yeah, so he's trying to figure out what happened to them.
Yeah, it's like
he
drowned. No, he didn't. We found him in the bunk. His eyes are gone. It's like he drowned. There's fungus growing out of his mouth. No.
There's
I love that scene. Like that scene.
The scene where like
they're trying to figure out logically what happens. Like it doesn't make sense.
On the boat or like in the hospital, the mortuary.
Okay, so they go to the boat. They find the body. They bring it back, and Tom Atkins and this doctor are talking the whole.
Yep, that's one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
He's like that.
He's like no.
He drowned. No, he didn't. We found him down. He's full of water. There's fungus in his mouth. Like no, he drowned.
One of my favorite lines in that scene was when Tom Atkins goes, he's like, we found him below decks, and the guy who played Napoleon Wilson in Assault on Precinct 13, who plays the doctor, he's like, no, Dick Baxter died in the ocean, and the music is kind of like just swelling a little, just slightly swelling,
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, it's so creepy. It's like, I swear to you, right now, when he's talking about how like the kids were like they drowned and like we're down for like they were like down maybe a week, 10 days, and he's like, I swear to you, right now, he's been down longer. It's so creepy. I love it. It's like how. Like, this shit's so good,
Yeah, that's always kind of like, it's both funny and creepy to me, where it's like, no, we literally
found him below decks. It's like, nah, you didn't.
No. It's like, what do you mean, no, I didn't, you son of a bitch? His eyes are gone. What do you explain that? I was like, I don't know.
And that actor, like, I forget his name, but he played Napoleon Wilson in a movie we covered, in another Carpenter movie we covered, Assault. And it was just like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Cigarette.
Yeah. Yep.
I have my moments. Yeah.
I love that character.
And no, that entire scene is just like, it reminds me of Halloween 2 a little bit. Not just because of the fact that it takes place in a hospital, because there's like visually it's very similar with like the guy like with the scalpel.
Yeah. Oh,
it's like harkens back to like the Shape having that scalpel in Halloween 2. And just that, it's just like this impending dread where it's like you don't want night to fall because it's like the fog will show up,
One thing I thought the first time, so this is the second time I've seen it. The first time I saw it was last year after we went to a free showing of I think Gamera.
Yep.
We came back. Hey, want to watch a movie? I was like, okay, what movie? We said, want to watch The Fog? I said, okay.
Oh, that was like a month before. We watched a Halloween night.
We did what? Okay, no, I am wrong. We watched a Halloween night, and I watched it, and at first I thought the plot was going to be like, the ghosts are killing people to possess their bodies because they're all lepers. Like they wanted new bodies, and like, but no, that's not the plot.
No,
no, they just wanted Jamie Lee Curtis to scream.
Her scream is great.
She's great. I love her in this movie.
Love this line like Scream where it's like Terror Train, The Fog, Prom Night. Why don't I always have Jamie Lee Curtis in it? And like and Jamie Kennedy goes, she's the Scream Queen.
I still haven't seen Scream.
You need to. We should watch it sometime for like Halloween or something.
One line I love so Tom Atkins picks up Jamie Lee Curtis because she's hitchhiking, and she said, I'm trying to remember what exactly it was like. Something.
Are you weird? And it's like, oh, weird and unlucky.
That's a good line too. But I liked, like, I'm trying to remember the exact line. It was something like, she says, well, you're a lot better than the last guy I hitchhiked with. He's like, pretty sure you said you never hitchhiked before. And just this awkward like silence. I really like that scene. And of course, Tom Atkins. He gets the ladies in John Carpenter movies.
Oh yeah, he does.
Well, he's a dilf.
Tom Atkins, now that guy's a dilf.
Yeah, he like 80s Tom Atkins. Let me tell you, like nice.
He got he was great in Halloween 3. You know.
Yeah,
he was great in Night of the Creeps.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Yeah. But I feel like The Fog is just like. Oh, what were you gonna say?
Well, I want to say it looks great too.
The Dean Cundy cinematography is amazing.
Dean Cundy worked on like a lot of his early work, including Halloween 3. But this might be my favorite looking film he's done for John Carpenter, because with The Thing, that film looks awesome too. But it's very blue and very kind of pink. And then with like Halloween, it's pretty, it's a pretty simple,
Yeah.
And Halloween 2, I remember good shots, but this feels a lot more like an old comic book coloring. Like there's a shot where like,
oh, absolutely.
Okay, a shot early on with the sailors on the boat, and one guy's looking out. Hey, there's fog. It cuts like the inside of the boat is like blinding red, but the water is like normal, so it makes it pop more.
Yeah.
Or there's a scene with the weather guy like, let me check the radar, and like the glow of the the green glow.
The green like projects onto him.
I love that.
If you like that, you'll like some shots in Christine.
I love Christine.
Oh yeah, Christine's great. It's one of his best movies in my opinion.
Was that also Cundy or was that someone else?
I think that was Cundy.
That film is ridiculous but amazing. It's the stupidest premise.
I think Cundy stopped being his DP after Christine. I think.
It's a damn shame. And he did classics like Jurassic Park, Jack and Jill, all the classics.
Back to the Future.
Jack and Jill.
Mostly Jack and Jill.
That was his last film, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
What way to go out. What a swan song.
Classic.
For a classic cinematographer.
Listen, classic paycheck moment. Like, gotta pay the bills.
It's like, gotta pay the bills,
But yeah, what was the other thing I wanted to say about it? Okay, so what are your problems with it? Like, what are your...
I think we kind of like covered, like, I just like, when I watch a movie, it's just like, I don't like see flaws in it. I'm just like, that was good, but it's not like good enough to warrant like, an extra star or half star, That's how I view movies.
Yeah.
But if I really had to like nitpick, I guess it would just have to be oh yeah, just those moments where it's kind of like, okay, the studio had to do with this, where it's like, okay, close up of
being stabbed,
close up of like someone being stabbed, or close up of like, it seems a little bit
jarring. The ghost pirate's face.
Yeah, the ghost pirate's close up face with like the maggots. It's like, that doesn't feel necessary, because that doesn't feel like something that would like.
It doesn't feel like a ghost story.
Doesn't feel like something like, yeah, it feels like a slasher movie almost in some areas. Which is like Escalade in Halloween 2. Mainly because Carpenter didn't direct that, but because there was even more
Carpenter.
like
that was Carpenter.
That was Carpenter directing the murder scenes, because like they didn't think they were gory enough.
Well, because who made Halloween 2?
Rick Rosenthal, in general.
Yeah. He wanted to be a lot like the first one, where like the deaths are kind of like more subtle, but like John Carpenter's like, no,
we kind of like, we need to keep up with the times, so we gotta make these gorier.
Which
is ironic, given the fact
like,
that like you would think Carpenter would want to stick to the original.
He seemed like the guy who would. He seemed like he would have wanted, but
he was just trying to think of like, he was just being pragmatic,
Yeah. Well, with this film, I mean, there's not a lot of deaths.
There's not a lot of deaths.
So like those gory moments are also like not. It's not like super.
They're bloodless. Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're mostly just you see someone stab somebody, and that's it. So it's not like people are getting ripped in half.
One problem I do have is the fact that Jamie Lee Curtis just gets with Tom Atkins and they know each other for like. I know it's like part of like the humor where it's like, they have sex up there, like it's like implied that they have sex, and he's like,
it's not implied.
It's implied, but it's like, but he's just like, what's your name, by the way?
Listen, it's Tom Atkins.
It's Tom Atkins.
It's 80s Tom Atkins.
That there we go. that's
the answer to your problem.
That's the answer to my question. Yeah.
Like, I mean,
but
have you seen that man?
Yeah. The Fog in general seems like Halloween 2.0 for me.
Okay.
In many regards.
Yeah.
And it's one of my like favorite 80s horror movies.
Okay. I still think I prefer the first Halloween more.
Oh yeah, I prefer the first Halloween more too. Yeah.
Like, I have problems with Halloween, as you know.
Yep.
But Michael Myers is one of the best film antagonists ever, because he's creepy. Because with the Fog, it's like, they're ghosts. Mm-hmm. They're ghost pirates.
With like, I think it was like Rob Bottin or somebody who did the makeup effects for the ghost pirates.
Oh yeah, they're great.
They're awesome.
But Michael, it's like he just wants to stab you. Like, there's no real. He's just kind of evil.
Yeah. Which is like something that's like, I guess what makes Michael Myers scary is that.
He doesn't have a reason.
It's entirely possible, despite the supernatural stuff going on. This quasi supernatural stuff going on. He gets shot and just like in this like walk away.
But it's like
the fact that some
plausible
enough. Some guy can take a knife and just kill you.
Yeah. Like, and he doesn't need a reason. I just want to kill you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I find that.
And he's like a force of nature, whereas the Fog itself is a literal force of nature.
He just wants revenge. Lepers are coming back.
Mm-hmm. It's a revenge story. There's like a clear motive.
Yeah.
Halloween. The Fog gets 4 stars from me.
4 stars. I gave it 3.5.
Okay, gotcha.
So check it out next year.
Check it out.
Check it out next year on the 21st.
21st of April, or for Halloween.
Or that.
If you're looking for something like if you're looking for like
Spooky.
If you love Halloween and you're looking for something like more from the director,
It's like, I'm sick of watching Halloween. Let's watch The Fog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So check it out.
Moving on to our next movie, which was your pick.
Yay!
Which was a far cry from the last 2 movies we watched.
Which
Atlantis,
The Lost Empire. Yay!
Yeah.
So I love this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my favorite Disney movies. I adore this movie.
Before we watched this movie, I was just like, we put on the Blu-ray.
And
I was just like, I just want to see like what the previews are.
Oh God!
And what was it? It was like The Little Mermaid, which is pretty good,
Yeah, in 3D.
In 3D.
Oh,
I think I saw that in 3D with my mom's birthday for like October. Or something.
I watched it in theaters over the remake.
I'd watch it in theaters over the remake as well.
Yeah.
I'm not even like that passionate about that movie. Like I don't have like strong opinions about it. I'm just like, it's good,
It's good.
It's good.
It's well made.
It's got great animation and stuff.
The inking, like the
the last you told me about this. Yeah.
Yeah. So tangent, but so the mermaid, not the first, mermaid from the 89 is the last 2D animated Disney film to be actually like inked with ink, like actual like water ink, and then afterwards they
use computers.
Yeah, so it's like, I think it looks like just that ink looks gorgeous to me.
Oh yeah.
So it's a little fun fact.
Yeah.
So after that we watched Monsters University trailer,
University,
which you love, right? You love that movie.
Oh, I love it so much.
His face is scowling like no face I've seen before.
I think Monsters Inc. is a good movie. We talk about in uni was the trailer I was showing.
Yeah,
I like Monsters Inc., but
University.
it's probably one of my least favorite Pixar movies.
Wait, Inc? Monsters Inc?
Monsters Inc. Yeah, one of my least favorite. That's not a sequel or a prequel.
Okay. Okay.
Wow. I just don't like. I don't know. It just doesn't click with me. I guess, but it's good. It's a good movie though.
Kitty.
my mom always is like Kitty. No, it's a good movie
I
though.
cry when I watch it. But yeah.
It's but then we watched fucking Planes, and that shit was trash. That was awful, and that was just like.
Oh, by the way, the Planes trailer, not the movie. Just to be
the
clear.
Planes trailer, yeah, because we would not.
And then halfway through, we're like, okay, no, we gotta.
Yeah, we're just like, nope, we were watching Atlantis.
Yeah, let's watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what's your experience with like watching? Like, how did you get introduced to this movie or exposed to it?
the first time I was exposed to it, when I was younger, I used to watch the dinosaur Disney movie on repeat.
As we all did.
Did you?
I watched bits and pieces, but I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember for life.
I know that whole movie by heart.
The Love Monkey.
The Love Monkey. He's like, come on, go mate with the other monkey. He's like, no, I'm a dinosaur. But so I remember. I think it was two commercials I saw on that. It was Atlantis. And the Treasure Planet one where he's just riding his board through the mountains.
Oh yeah, that's a great trailer.
Yeah, it's like, it's great, but it doesn't tell you what the movie's about. So
Which is like, it's a problem. It's just, that was awesome. I don't know what this movie's about.
That with both these movies, they had kind of bad marketing. Just like they didn't. So that's the first time I heard of it, and then I don't even remember. I want to say it might have been Disney-cember by Doug Walker.
Yeah.
And he didn't like it. I mean, he liked it, but it was like, eh.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, Kita's kind of hot. And then so that's not that, but it looked interesting.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers to that, sir. Best Disney princess. Best Disney princess. So I was like, oh, it looks interesting. I'll check it out. And then I want to say, I think I had Disney Plus at the time, and I watched it, and I was like, I love this movie. It's so much fun. And so I bought the Blu-ray, which was hard to find.
Wow.
And it also comes with the sequel.
Milo's Return.
Which
I'm looking at it right now.
Which is 3 episodes of a canceled TV show that they just put together.
There's a special feature on the back that says How to Speak Atlantean.
So Atlantean, written and spoken, was made by the guy who made all these things from Star Trek, all the Star Trek languages,
including like Klingons.
Yeah, so they got him to do it, which is ironic because Nimoy's in it. Nimoy's in the movie.
Nimoy's in the movie. Yeah.
So the plot is Atlantis, I'm sure, is a lost city that fell into the ocean back in, I guess, Plato's time. And then it's it's the most famous, one of the most famous stories ever. And then cut to the 1914 or
1914.
Yeah. And a man named Milo Thatch, played by Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Oh man. Oh, Pepsi. He's working at a museum, and he wants. He thinks he's found the location of the Shepherd's Journal, which would basically show you how to get to Atlantis. And then the whole staff of the the whole staff of his work at the museum laugh at him because it's Atlantis.
Yeah.
What are you, stupid?
Wait, you Dumbo? What, you a dumb brain?
Yeah. What are you, fucking dumb? But then he's approached by a millionaire named Whitmore, who was a friend of his grandfather, who made a bet with his grandfather, like, if you find the Shepherd's Journal, I'll finance the whole expedition. And the guy found it. So Milo goes on a journey with a bunch of people in a giant badass submarine that lasts for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be I thought that ship was gonna play a bigger part, but no, it gets destroyed.
And then it's a whole adventure. They go under the earth and they find monsters and fireflies, literal fireflies.
Yeah.
And then they find Atlantis with Kida, the princess, and her father, and the whole civilization. And then you find out that everyone except Milo were there just to pillage and get rich.
Yeah,
including like the fun sidekicks. Like all the fun sidekicks were like, no, we're gonna take your shit.
Yeah.
Like they were all bad guys.
They'll have their redemption at the end.
Yeah. But like I remember the first time I saw
I do find that each one of them their quirk is obvious, but it's so fun though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then Kida they find this power source, and Kida fuses with it, becomes like a glowing hot Jesus, and then they take her, and then Milo, big adventure happens. Bam. So did you like it?
I really liked it.
Yay! I'm so glad.
No, it's one of those like, wow, I can't believe I didn't haven't seen this before. I would have loved this as like a kid. Like I would have absolutely adored this as a kid, you know. and then grow out of it because I thought it was being cool, and then fall back in love with it after like once. Because I feel like everybody had like a stage in their life where like they were just like, oh, Disney's not cool for me.
Pussies, I
don't
like them.
I hate Disney as a corporation, as an industry.
I like Grand Theft Auto. I don't like Disney.
Yeah. But like they had some baller movies, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they hire good artists.
Yeah.
They're not, you know.
Yeah, they fucked up Star Wars.
Well, I mean,
I'll never forgive them for that.
I mean, the Mandalorian's good.
Mandalorian's great, yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
Atlantis.
It's just on the top of Atlantis itself. The movie doesn't do much to differentiate it from like other like. Okay, so it's like another like the big Disney movie coming out this year, you know. But it does what I said about what I said to you was that like it's visually very striking.
Yeah.
It's a very nice movie to look at, and I love all the characters are charismatic and they're fun to follow.
Yeah.
Especially the demolitions guy.
Mole.
No.
Wait. No. Vinny.
Vinny, he's great.
Big ones.
The paper clips, big ones.
He's great. Parallel
that's
parking.
nitroglycerin. Don't breathe. Don't do anything except pray, maybe.
He's great. But one about striking, they got the guy who drew Hellboy to come work on like all the character designs. Hence why they all have those square fingers.
Yeah, because I need to start reading some more Hellboy comics. But that's interesting because like despite Disney movies like having like similar vibes a little bit, they all have like slightly distinct looks and the styles about them because like Atlantis is a different. It's 10 years separated. It's 10 years like separated from like something like Beauty and the Beast, you know, where it's like everything is like a lot softer. But Atlantis really represents the time it was made, where everything's a bit more like everything's a bunch of sharp edges, you know.
Well, the thing, so this was made in I should know. It's like 2001, 2001, 2002.
Yeah.
And at that time, Disney animation was basically like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Let's try.
This has come out before or after Treasure Planet?
I want to say like a year before. I want to say. I could be wrong. But like, you know, like let's do Treasure Island in space. Let's do like a classic adventure action movie. Let's do a Hawaiian alien buddy movie.
That's one of my favorites.
Emperor's New Groove. I don't know what they were. They just did whatever.
Fucking love Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch they're remaking it too. I hope you're excited for that. He just almost gagged on this Pepsi. Yes, but that was like, and then the only success was Lilo and Stitch. Every other movie bombed because the marketing was all shit. But this was the classic, like, these guys made Hunchback of Notre Dame before this. After they did Hunchback, it was released, you know, I remember I watched this in some documentary, like, behind the scenes. And they went to a Mexican, like, this restaurant. And, like, what do we want to do? We don't want to make a musical, because we did that twice. And I was like, well, what should we do? And they just talked about what movies did they like as a kid, like Indiana Jones, like, 2000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, like they want to make, like, you know, we made Fantasyland movies like in Disney Park. There's like a Fantasyland. Like, let's make an Adventureland movie. So they pitched this idea of like, you know, these guys and gals in sweaty tank tops go underground to find a thing and adventure and and
basically people go underground and find a thing.
Yeah, and they said okay, and what. So it's not a musical. That's first and foremost.
Yeah.
But it's also a lot darker than like you see.
Yeah.
So this whole voyage.
There's a huge body count in this movie.
This voyage they're on, it starts like 200 people.
They almost all of them fucking die.
And then it cuts down to like 20.
Yeah.
Like the submarine just blows up. You see someone like there's water going through she closes like a corridor, and you see a guy doesn't get through and he just dies.
Yeah, that was shocking to me. I was wow, it's a Disney movie.
Like you see, like there's a truck with guys on fire and it blows up and they die.
There's true mortality in this movie.
Yeah, this is a dangerous voyage with monsters. So that I like. It's like a little darker. And Atlantis is very you know, it's a classic kind of like ancient society kind of. But I remember seeing like the Princess and Milo go swimming for ruins, and then some guy grabs the princess's hair, and I remember hearing go, "Oh!" and then she like tries to stab him.
Yeah.
And then like she takes out a little knife and
So
is about to stab him.
I thought she was like, where is this going in a Disney movie? You know?
Yeah, it's they were doing they want to do something like genuinely different. They didn't want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And I love it for that.
Yeah, it feels like an adventure serial.
Then it bombed.
Yeah, that was the end of Atlantis until like.
Well, they also made a TV show.
Do you think Atlantis will ever like get a comeback where people will like be like, "Hey, remember that movie?" You know.
I mean, I've heard rumors rumors about like them remaking it with fucking Toro with El Toro in charge of it.
Oh wow.
But that was like a rumor. That was a rumor. That was back in like when I was in high school.
Because like. For a little bit, Treasure Planet. There was a video essay that kind of made Treasure Planet pop off for a little bit.
Yeah, Treasure Planet's great too.
Yeah. So people were kind of like, "Hey, holy shit, Treasure Planet's great." Do you think that's ever going to happen with like Atlantis?
There's a few video essays on it, but I don't know. It's like even with Treasure Planet, that has like
a small following.
Well, like it's more Disney than like Atlantis because it has musical numbers where it's like copyrighted.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Butt rock, early 2000s, which kind of I love that movie, but those music scenes kind of ruined it for me a little bit. It's like, I was just so out of place.
When I heard that, I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah, there's like. It's like, oh my god, shut up. But with this, it's just, animated adventure movie.
Yeah,
and
it's like no need for musical numbers.
No need for butt rock. We got, a great score by James Newton Howard. We got great and
just characters that just work together.
Michael J.
You
Fox.
want to see them do stuff.
The first Disney hero to wear glasses.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and the last character in a film by Disney who smokes.
Yeah.
Mrs. Packard.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die.
We're all gonna die. She's great. I love her. I was just like, oh wow, 2001. She's smoking a cigarette in a Disney movie. Holy shit!
Yeah, that was the last time they allowed that to happen. And
so yeah, this movie has like really cool stuff in it that like you wouldn't associate with Disney. Yeah.
Yeah, it was back when Disney took risks. Mm-hmm. It's like I don't know, here, make whatever.
Factory manufacture like all their properties, Yeah,
it's
great. I love it.
I love it.
I love Disney so much.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, Atlantis. It's sad. They put so much like extra effort into it. And it's sad that like
didn't do.
They made a language.
Well.
They made a whole new
language
and like written and spoken language. And it's just
They got the guy who's known for this stuff to do it. Yeah.
They got Nimoy as a king, and he's great. Mm-hmm. He's sad.
Oh, yeah, Nimoy's also always great. Even in Dark of the Moon, he's great in Transformers 3. He plays the villain in he plays the bad guy, the twist villain in Transformers 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess spoilers for Transformers.
Spoilers for Transformers 3, baby.
I don't know. Who cares? But yeah, and then it's just I love Kida. Mm-hmm. She is my favorite Disney princess.
Mm-hmm. I think my favorite female princess, like not really princess, but protagonist, you know, is Nani from Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah,
she's just trying to fucking take care of her younger sister,
and also make money, and also not have this to be taken away.
She also
by Bubbles.
Yeah, exactly. She's just trying to get by,
Yeah, her parents died in a car crash, and now she's like, yeah, she's great. But in terms of princesses, Kida's my favorite. And I love the scene where so no one in Atlantis can read Atlantean anymore. They've forgotten it. So with Milo, he knows how to read it because he's a linguist.
He's a linguist, yeah.
And I was like, she asked, I asked for your help because there's a mural here that I can't read. And he's like, okay. He starts looking at the wall. He's like, Kida, what are you doing? He was like, so it's underwater, and she takes off her little, tarp.
Tarp. I don't know.
And they're very cute Disney couple. They're my favorite Disney couple.
It's very nice. Yeah,
they're very cute.
It's very cute.
Yeah, it's
because he has absolutely he's a
dork.
No idea what. Yeah, he's a dorky doofus,
but he's also he's a cute dork.
Yeah,
and he is Michael J. Fox after.
He's Michael J. Fox, so he's he's like the underdog, but still also like you root for him, like
because at first like the whole crew doesn't like him.
He's cool. Like the thing about Michael J. Fox characters is that like not Milo though, because he's not like
he's not. He's not meant
classify him as cool. Like something like I don't know, like
Stuart
Marty McFly is that he's cool. Yeah, and Stuart Little. Where he's cool, but he's still the underdog,
Yeah.
So he has confidence in himself, but like it's a little bit misdirected. But like he finds like the right path to like be like, okay, I'm gonna do this,
Yeah, he saves his parents'
But yeah,
marriage.
Milo he saves his parents. Back to the Future is a story of a kid who saves his parents' marriage
by not banging his mom.
By not banging his mom.
Oh, what a magical movie! But
it's about family.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it. But with Atlantis, he is when you first see him, he's working in the boiler of the museum.
Mm-hmm. He's at the he's literally below the bottom.
Yeah, he's in the basement, and people call him like, "It's cold in here. Can you fix it?" And he hits the. He's like, "Is it working? Okay, cool."
Yeah.
And then you see him on this voyage, and then I don't know. It's just.
Kind of just like
he saves Atlantis.
He saves Atlantis. It's like
he's also like the one guy who doesn't want to pillage
the Atlantis. Doesn't care about the publicity or like getting
money,
rich,
Money. I'm gonna say money. But yeah, no, he. So
he just genuinely cares about this culture,
Yeah, and like he doesn't help them at first with pillaging, but then they threaten to shoot Kita.
So in a way, he's even a cooler character than Indiana Jones.
Dude, fuck Indiana Jones compared to Milo, bro.
Yeah, because like Indiana Jones. He doesn't like want the money. He just but he wants to put the shit he wants to take the shit from like where it rightfully belongs.
Put it in a museum.
Yeah, put it in a museum.
I mean, to be fair to him, there's also he's trying to stop the Nazis from getting it.
Yeah, he wants to stop the Nazis. It's like it's either him or the Nazis.
Yeah, it's like I mean, and also this shit has magical powers and whatever.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, just Atlantis. It's beautifully animated. It looks like an old kind of comic book.
Yeah, I like that.
It's unique, and I highly recommend checking it out.
I don't love the movie, but it's definitely enjoyable. I'd watch it again. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're curious, maybe check out the sequel. It's weird, and
is it like not as well animated? It's like a different studio, like a different department of Disney.
Well, like I said earlier, it was meant to be 3 episodes of the TV show, which I would love to see that TV show had happened. Mm-hmm. So basically, it was canceled because the movie flops. Like, well, we got 3 episodes. Let's add a few more scenes to tie them together. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. If you want, check it out. I mean, you can watch both of these on Plus, on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But make sure you check out Atlantis because it's great. It deserves more love. Hashtag.
Bring back Find Atlantis.
That's a good one. Find Atlantis.
Hashtag Find Atlantis.
Hashtag make Kita an official Disney princess. She's not even in no. Dude, fuck Elsa. I don't give a fuck about Elsa. Elsa's a piece of shit. Kita's where it's at, bro. Kita can become like a blue hot goddess thing that can walk on water. Mm-hmm. That shit is awesome. Mm-hmm. Elsa just freezes shit.
Yeah.
Like fucking Mr. Freeze.
I've yet to see Frozen.
Yeah. Just watch Tangled. It's better.
Yeah, Tangled's better. Yeah.
Yeah. So Atlantis. So what's your rating for Atlantis?
3.5. I really enjoyed it.
Nice. I gave it a 4. 4 out of 5.
Nice.
Because, god damn, it's such a comfort movie for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
Look at all those people die. It's great.
That's great.
Very cool.
Very cool.
It's a very cool movie.
Well, Ben, it's
been
nice talking about these movies.
Yay!
Going off on our
We're
weird
back.
tangents. We're back, baby.
We're back in the New York groove.
But yeah, hopefully we can make this like a regular thing,
Yeah, let's get back on it.
Yeah.
What's the last funny thing to say?
True that. Comedy gold. Relationship comedy, and they just sit there doing nothing. Before we started
we were talking about Chowder.
We were talking about Chowder and Flapjack, and how those those cartoons were like weird, especially Flapjack.
Flapjack is just an acid trip.
Yeah,
that someone drew while they were having it.
Well,
make it a show. So.
Oh yeah. All right. See you next time.
Bye.